You're doing dry July.
No, I'm not fucking doing dry July. Why is it that when you just decide to stop drinking for a month, just because it's through the month of July, everyone thinks you're doing dry July? I don't want to be, like, my month of sobriety shouldn't be, like, tagged along, tagged to some fucking, like, was it a movement or something? What do you call dry July?
It's just about going dry for a month to try and raise awareness about how much drinking fucks you over, I think.
Well, I'm not doing.
I don't actually know.
I'm just doing it in July because July is like the shittest month of the year, and it's probably the easiest month to not be drinking.
I actually like to drink harder in July.
Do you?
Yeah.
Is July just like you power through July? Just hammer it home.
Well, I've got a problem with alcohol and sex, as you know.
Yeah, you're a sex addict and an alcoholic.
And July, there's just no let up. So when you're dealing with the things I'm dealing with, months and days and hours, they're all the same.
So it all just blends into one.
Yeah.
I figure you just get to a certain point in your life and just everything's a fucking blur from then on out. Like all these people in their 20s, I fucking hate it when people in their 20s are just like, oh man, I'm like 27. I'm so old now. I'm almost in my 30s.
Yeah,
it's like,
shut your
fucking mouth. Like just shut your shit little fucking mouth.
Stupid
your
little young
skin's
fucking
still
teeth.
like, your
What are they,
skin's
baby
still
teeth?
supple.
Fuck
Probably
off.
still rolling fucking baby teeth.
Yeah.
Don't even have to worry about dentists, people in their 20s. No one's even asked us any questions. So what we're trying to do now is we're doing a podcast. It's kind of like not live, but sort of live, like trying to get some form of live interaction.
It's kind of like a tease that you're making a podcast via the live. This is like the trailer.
I don't even know what this is. I guess we're going for live questions. Thanks to you, I've been burning groms and banging their single mums or moms. So I'm just assuming that person is...
Burning groms and banging their single moms.
Yeah, so I think he's going...
Why the fuck is he setting their kids on fire? You can just pump their mums, man.
Like, you've got to stop taking things so literal. I think it's because you haven't really been around, like, the surf scene or surf culture. Like, you're only really new to it, so you're trying to figure out these new sayings.
Well, I find sarcasm hard to fucking understand on the internet.
Well, I think
There's
like most people.
I just read the words and he's burning groms, so I wasn't sure how he said it. It's not like, okay.
You keep going.
I'm not trying to embarrass you.
No, but you keep going with shit like that. Like, just you don't you fucked this up. You've ruined this podcast already.
Okay.
Straight off the bat, you've fucking ruined it.
I'm sorry.
Now, what were the questions here? How many pedals up the inside before you say something? So I guess that's a question directed at me, who has knowledge about surfing and surf etiquette. But I'm going to let you answer that.
Well, when I'm surfing, I get lapped. So guys will surf and they'll catch a wave and then they'll paddle out back past me, catch a wave, while I'm still just trying to make it out. So no one really talks to me.
No one talks to you on the surf?
Nah.
I've noticed, that the...
and if there's any drift, I'm fucked. I'm gone.
Is it because your arms lack power?
Yeah. There's nothing in them.
Is it the lack of flexibility or muscle definition? Or both?
It's timing, technique, natural awareness. There's lots going on for me that keep me from catching up and hanging out with you guys.
Yeah. I find for me personally, like when I'm paddling slowest is when, I don't know what it is, but it's when the waves are quite big. And when someone calls me into a wave for some reason, it's just a lot harder. Because I use that technique of paddling. Just because like your
knife hand.
Yeah, knife hand, because like it's a lot faster. Your arms are moving through the water faster.
Yeah, you really penetrate the water quickly and move right through. It's beautiful to watch.
It doesn't propel you through the ocean quite as fast.
You don't go anywhere.
It's a lot faster for the arm movements. I forgot what that person's question was, but I think you did a really good job of answering it.
Well, I have to carry around the bag, you know what I mean? Because I got the big bag, and it's like a fucking, almost like a keel. It's like a weighted sack around my pelvis. So when I'm paddling, the arse end of my board's about 3 foot lower than my nose.
I was trying to read some questions on here. What should I say when I have priority and someone calls the wave who doesn't?
My wave! And they don't have priority. Get off my wave! It's my one!
Yeah, well, I think if you've been sitting around and you've been waiting out in the ocean and you know it's your go, but not everyone else knows that it's your turn.
Does priority happen out there in the raw world? without the WSL watching down and the boys and the jet skis and the highlighter Viz vests and the small amounts of neoprene.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like gentlemen's rules or gentlewomen's rules.
Surf culture rules.
Yeah, like because we've got to be all inclusive of all genders, nationalities, and sexualities.
So what do they do then when someone takes their priority?
No, there is priority. Like for myself, when I paddle out and I sit in priority, and someone tries to take the priority off me by calling themselves into a wave, well, I mean, I got to kind of applaud them to a certain degree, because that takes a lot of balls to do that sort of thing, either balls or ignorance. But because that's something that I would do, and I do, which is try and just take priority off other people. Because I am quite arrogant out in the surf. So I try to pull that off whenever I can. So if someone else is trying to do it, I just got to tip my hat to them, because that's a bold move, and you got to respect it. So if someone does do that to you, it's either, I guess, a fist fight, or just get on with it. So there's two ways you can go with that.
Catch the next one, man.
Catch the next one, or fist fight them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's those two options.
Today my piss was white instead of red. What's going on?
Well,
yeah, he's hydrated. He's hydrated. He's absolutely fine. Things are fantastic. You want your piss to be clear. Oh, is it white, not clear white?
I think he said white.
That's semen.
No. What I was just going to say is that, full disclaimer, we're not medical professionals, and we should not at all touch on any subjects like this. Anything that relates to health, medicine.
I'm pretty good.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't want to give any advice on that, because, for one, I'm not very smart. I'm not a doctor, and, I mean, I know nothing about the human body.
Okay.
Today, that's the same.
But if your piss is
can't go
red,
through that. But if your piss is red, I mean, obviously you should just look up WebMD. Someone says fuck going right, and they're right. They are right. Yeah, fuck going right.
Except on Tinder. Ha! What does that mean? What way do you swipe on Tinder?
I don't know.
Oh,
here we go. What music do you psych on before a surf? I don't really psych. I don't really get psyched at all. I'm usually pretty level-headed. So to get me somewhat like motivated to go surfing, I would listen to a bit of Hall & Oates. Yeah, I often listen to Hall & Oates to get psyched for a surf.
Mine changes and chops depending on the day. If it's a wintry day, it's not nice. It's a bit rainy or something. I'm more rocky. If it's a summer and it's hot and it's boardies, I'm normally hip hop.
Yeah, hip hop. Yeah.
So it depends on the day. You've got to really feel yourself up, take a really good feel of yourself, and then let that warmth tell you what you need to listen to, because I think it'll change for you.
That's beautiful what you just said, because it is. You gotta. It's all about the moment that you're in, how you're feeling at that time.
Yep.
And you got to find music that'll resonate with how you're feeling at that time. And for me, most of the time, it's Steely Dan. Reeling in the Years. That's a fucking great song. I'll usually just listen to that. Like if I just wake up in the morning, I want to get motivated. Reeling in the Years. I'll just listen to that. It's a fucking good song.
I like to go onto YouTube and just look at beats, instrumentals, and just make up my own words.
Yeah, that's a good
Something
idea.
else that you can do. You can just talk about how good you're going to be. You don't have to rap. You can sing. You can talk. It can be a poem. It's really quite soothing.
Well, I mean, here's an interesting little tidbit of knowledge. You are actually a rapper, aren't you?
Well, no, I just...
Well, you were a rapper.
I got paid a lot of money to pretend to be a rapper.
Pretend to be a rapper, yeah.
By a lot, I mean like maybe $8,000.
That's a lot of money. You're a professional rapper.
Yeah, I got to go to America.
Wow.
They sent me to... I did have to go to...
How can we get this far and this story's only coming out now? I guess, we're talking about music now, which is obviously your forte.
I went to Indianapolis. No, Indiana. Indianapolis. Yeah.
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 What's the difference between Indianapolis and Indiana?
I think Indiana is a state.
They're different places, aren't they?
Indiana state and Indianapolis is a city.
Indianapolis is where Chicago's from.
Chicago,
well, that's Illinois. Illinois. So there's Illinois, Indianapolis, and Indiana. And they're three different places.
Where are
They're not even near each other, are they?
Shit, I've got the wrong city. I don't know
Oh.
where I went.
But you went to the States and did rapping.
I stayed at Motel 6. That place is fucking hectic.
Is it?
Yeah, that's
Oh.
where you get a free ticket on the Greyhound bus, and you get to go to Motel 6 when you come out of jail.
Oh, okay. So you did
I don't know.
that. You
I don't
did
know.
that.
I was well, the radio station I worked for put me in Motel 6 because it was cheap. But when I got there, dudes were like looking at me like they were. And I was dressed as a fake rapper.
Yeah.
I looked like a
So
fucking
did you
idiot.
have to did you get yourself in any situations where you had to battle rap your way out of it?
No, we had to leave the motel
you had to
within
leave.
24 hours.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, yeah.
I was going to get raped at one point.
By someone who had just come out of the pen?
Yeah, the guy I was
Yeah,
sharing
yeah.
a room with.
Oh, the guy you were sharing a room with. Had nothing at all to do with anyone who's been locked up and incarcerated.
No, he came with me from
Oh,
New Zealand.
yeah, okay, he came with you.
Ellen.
Yeah,
That was
okay.
Ellen.
Yeah, that's fucking disturbing.
Good bastard.
That's actually quite disturbing. But
Sorry
yeah,
for
you're
using
a
the R
professional
word. I do sorry for using the R
yeah. Did you say retard again?
No.
Because we said it when we recorded that other podcast. We said retard, and we said we weren't allowed to say that again because that would been we locked that away in a box of naughty words that we weren't allowed to say anymore. That and slut.
We're allowed to say sluts.
No, we're not allowed to say sluts.
Okay.
Or slut or sluts plural.
Plural.
Either of
like
them.
a bunch of male sluts.
Oh look, we're on a tangent here, but yes, rap music is good for a pre-surf amp up or Steely Dan. I'm just going through some questions.
Mostly
you're so
stuff
hot.
sung by men, though.
Yep.
Who called you hot? No one's ever
Gentle
called you hot.
persons.
It's not really out fake shit.
I yell Elo. Oh yes, that's right. Electric Light Orchestra. That's another. They are a fucking good band to listen to if you want to get amped up.
Is this a fucking music podcast or a surfing podcast?
Well, someone asked a music question, so that's why we're
Ask
talking about
surfing
music.
questions.
But no, that was a surfing related question. It was like, what do you listen to get motivated? I think the actual term he used was psyched before a surf. And so now we're still answering that question. I said Electric Light Orchestra. They've got so many bangers.
What if SUP?
Yeah,
You-
pencil to
you're a fast reader. I can't read that fast, man.
WSL something. He said do burning groms and banging their moms.
Oh yeah, we've had that.
Yeah, someone said they said burning groms and banging their moms.
You can't find the things.
No, I'm not very good. I'm never good at these things. When you have like a live stream thing on the telephone, you flicked it too fast.
Am I at the back now?
You're
There we
too
go.
flicky. You're gone the wrong fucking way, you muppet. See now, look, flick. See, and then
Here's a question.
No.
Oh,
Is it
it
cool
cool?
to drop knee and grab rail if not in a barrel? I don't know. Do you ever drop knee? I mean, did you drop knee when you proposed?
nah.
Nah.
There's no way.
I reckon that's a real cuck move, eh?
Yeah, getting on
Yeah.
your knees
Yeah.
in front of your missus.
Yeah. No,
Looking up at her.
that's- Like some people may say, oh, that's like real like a romantic gesture, but I mean, it's 2022. Like, why should a dude have to get on his knee and ask a woman? You know.
Unless
Why can't he just be standing up, you know,
Using
and just
the feet.
having some self-respect?
Mm.
But I'm not getting on the fucking ground. That's dirty.
Yeah. Well, I didn't have a ring or anything when I did
Oh,
it.
well, you didn't. Yeah, see, that's the way it should be.
We were just standing there.
Yeah, and you say, well, I mean, what's this? Should we we've got to make a mutual decision here?
Yeah, well,
You know,
we were
is
in
that
the
how you went
bathroom.
about
We were in the bathroom. We were she was in front of me. She had her hands on the mirror, and I had my hands on her waist, and we were looking at each other, and we had the discussion at the time.
Or you had it in the bathroom. But I mean, that's a progressive way to do it. That's definitely a progressive way to do it. That's
Oh,
way
was it
better
a-
than drop knee.
It was an aggressive way.
Oh, it is. Is it cool to? Oh, that's the same. See, I'm just really not good at this. We'll get some more questions. I just did your sister ride a surf mat?
What is that? A surf mat.
I don't know.
I don't have a sister. Do you have a sister?
Yeah, she doesn't ride a surf mat.
Oh.
But yeah, I don't know. There's some shit questions. People definitely have some shit questions. When will we see a Swellian X Rag Surf Report episode? Well, considering how often do we do this podcast?
It's sporadic. We've done
Yeah,
it like
it's very
15 times.
Well, we've done it more than that, but I think the last one we did was 3-4 months ago, something like that. I think which fucks me off about that is just how sporadic this is, and there's these big gaps of time in between podcasts. I'm still paying the fucking subscription to keep this thing on the internet every month. So I'm throwing money away every month, paying for my subscription to host podcasts.
Oh,
It cost me $9 US.
like a
which is-
domain, like a domain
Yeah,
fee.
like kind of like a domain fee. And so I'm losing money
Oh, so you got all
every
these,
time that we don't do a podcast, basically.
So you got all these fucking losers out here paying for their own podcast to become famous, and with no sponsors on it,
With no sponsors, yeah.
like you,
Because
because there's no sponsors on this.
what? No, yeah.
So you're just doing this at
No,
a
so-
cost.
Yeah, no, yeah.
I'm on it too.
Yeah. No, but you're not paying. Well, I'm paying for the domain.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm doing it. I'm not just doing this for free. I'm actually paying to do it.
It's
And
costing
when you
you.
think about it, it just costs money.
Log
That's,
off.
That's fucked, eh?
Yeah.
Really? I'd never really thought about it that way. Because I was just like, yeah, we'll do a podcast. And why aren't you doing a
Well, no,
podcast?
you got asked as well. People were.
Yeah.
Where is it?
Yeah, where's the podcast?
Put it on our
And
laps.
it's just like, I'm paying to do it. Like, I'm
Mm.
going into the negative doing these podcasts. So, I mean, I enjoy it, and I hope other people enjoy it. But, like, at the same time, it's costing me $9 a month.
Start a GoFundMe.
That's the price of one coffee per month.
Mm.
Yeah, so I won't start a GoFundMe. I'll just try and... What I'm going to try and do is just, like, do more of these so it actually makes it worthwhile. So, like, each podcast isn't, like...
$9. It's
yeah,
like
well,
$1.50.
like $9. Like, say the last one was 4 months ago. That's $23. That's the price of 2 coffees.
I don't know.
That's a lot just to produce a podcast.
It's a lot of soy as well.
But to answer that question, the Swellian thing. Well, I think the Swellian guys, Jed and Vaughan, they said they really wanted to do a New Zealand tour. So hopefully those guys are going to sort their shit out.
Who the fuck's a Swellian?
These Aussie guys,
Good
and they do a
bastards?
podcast. Like their podcast is actually really good.
Oh,
You know how this is a steaming pile of shit. Like theirs is like actually a legit, really good podcast.
okay.
You know, it's actually thought out,
Planned.
They're actual like proper journalists and shit. They're good at talking on microphones. They have a lot of surf knowledge.
Mm.
Yeah, they have like professional guests on. They had
Okay.
like Kelly Slater, Oki. They've had all the big names.
Okay.
And you know how like this is just me and you, and then theirs is them, but then all these other people like pro surfers and shit. So this is like really good.
Who
But
the fuck's dog's that?
where?
You see that dog?
I didn't see that dog.
Where's mine?
Probably with that other dog. But yeah, I think those guys are hopefully going to come over to New Zealand soon and do like some podcast tour thing,
Okay.
which would be good. It'll be cool.
Well, there we go. You did some questions live.
Yeah, live questions. And so this is a full experiment right now, which is because it's like a podcast, right? But what, we got a question.
Yeah. Would you
Would
go?
you go from riding a 6'2" to a 6'5", 3 inches is big?
Is 3
Oh.
inches a big change? Is 3 inches a
No.
big change?
I'm gonna fucking stop you now before you say what you're gonna say because you're definitely gonna talk about a penis.
I'm not going to talk
No, there
about the
was
size of a penis.
100%. There was a 100% chance that you were gonna talk about a penis.
I was more going to think about stepping up a length.
You're definitely gonna talk about a penis. But I'm just gonna answer that question.
It is a big step up in penises because 3 inches is half the average. So if you're a 6 and you go to a 9, big change. If you're a 9, you go to a 12, fucking unbelievable. You won't feel the same again. But if you... So, you know, it depends.
You finished?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was just gonna say, I don't fucking care. If anyone asks me about like surfboard stuff, my usual answer is just like it's not that I mean I don't care, but it's that also I don't know. I don't know much about surfboards. For myself, I get a surfboard and it goes good or it doesn't. I did like a video about this like a week ago. I was like trying to do a surfboard review or whatever it was, and I mean the thing is like surfboards either go good or they don't go good. You know. Like, it doesn't matter if you're riding a board that's 2 inches shorter, longer, wider, if you got fucking 15 litres more, 15 litres less. Like, it either goes good or it doesn't. It's all hypothetical. You can, like, fucking, you know, ask people for advice on what you should be riding.
I
But
guess
the
what he's-
thing is, no one is going to fucking, no one can give you actual real advice on what to ride. Like, you have to just kind of figure it out yourself, I guess.
And just get better at surfing. So
And just get way better at surfing. Like, acquire that knowledge for yourself. Don't ask other people who can kind of, like, know how to surf and that, like, what to do. because they've gone through it and got to that point and figured it out, and then you should just kind of try and figure it out, I guess.
Just ride what's comfortable, man.
That's why I'm just not good with advice and stuff
Yeah.
about surfboards. I mean, the main thing is I don't know fuck all about them.
Yeah.
And that's why I just said all that sort of stuff just to kind of cover myself, really. But to be honest, I don't really know fuck all about surfboards. But by Stacey Coast Surfboards, because they sponsor me and their boards are real good. Do you shag pogs as well as sheep? I'm assuming,
Pigs.
I'm
Pigs.
assuming this person just made a little bit of a spelling mistake there, and
Of course, we
said-
don't fuck pigs.
Nah,
Okay,
nah.
it's a stupid question, and no, we don't fuck pigs as well as sheep.
Look, okay, so here's a question here, and before we get to this question, this is where I question, what have I been doing wrong? Like, how did I get to this point where I have I've got people who follow me on the social media that would ask questions like, "Would you go down on the Queen for $50?"
100%.
I don't want to.
I'd go down on the Queen for free if I was allowed with my wife and she was in the room. She's keen.
I just don't. Yeah,
It's
I
a pretty cool
don't- I don't-
one, low. Like if you're gonna,
What?
when you, well, you know, how did you meet the Queen? You know, a lot of people like, oh, I curtsied and she gave me a cross because I saved 100 people, or I did something really cool for charity and put a bunch of lions back in the wild or something. You know,
Yeah,
save some poverty with some kids. But then it comes to your story and you're like, I ate her box.
I guess it would be a good story you could tell the grandkids. Have you ever shoved wax in your kid's mouth to stop them swearing?
Absolutely.
I don't have any children, but if I did, I think that is definitely something that I would do. And I could do that because I'm sponsored by Sicky Johnson Wax, and they give me a lot of wax. So if my kid was swearing, I don't know where they would get that from, you know, where they would pick up that horrible language from. But if they did, I would put some wax in their mouth because I wouldn't be worried about, getting teeth marks in my wax and
No.
like kind of tarnishing it.
The problem
that.
with it is you got to be very careful if you do it around people that don't know surfing because I guess, you know, Sticky Johnson or Mrs. Palmer's or Sex Wax.
You
when
don't
someone
want to stick
sees
anything in the mouth.
why is he putting sex wax in that kid's child? I mean, that child's mouth. What's he going to do to that kid? They won't
Yeah.
understand that you're using it like soap to punish them for swearing. It looks like you're lubing the kid up.
Yeah, and if you said to someone, "Oh yeah, my kid was swearing, so I just stuck my Sticky Johnson in my child's mouth," it doesn't sound that good.
You're going to do some hard time.
Yeah, I mean, it could seem somewhat molestorial.
Yeah, so just stick to
Yeah.
soap. Soap works.
Soap, yeah.
And it's effective. And no one's going to think... You look like you're cleaning your kid, not prepping him for a pump.
Yeah, I mean, wax, it's a good idea, and if it's all you have on hand, go for it, but like otherwise definitely soap.
And
Because you just don't want to get into those kind of like those legal ramifications and shit, and, you know, being put on a sex offender list or whatever it is.
You're not allowed to hit your kids, but you can... if no one's watching, you might be able to smack them.
CNC-shaped boards the future. CNC. I don't know what that means, so I'm gonna go out on a limb and say, yeah, I reckon CNC-shaped boards are the future.
What is a CNC?
I think he's a new shaper.
Crushed nose.
Nah, I think because you know how like all these new hip kids and stuff, they all like kids these days are all like they have acronyms and shit, or they're like little like they're like
LGBTQI.
Lil Don or something like that. Their names are like Lil or they're an acronym or whatever it is. So I think CNC boards, they could be pretty good. I haven't seen any of his boards, or hers. You know, they're woman shapers now.
Kink. Sink. How do you say it? There's woman shapers.
Yeah. There are. I mean, I haven't seen any of
Do
the boards,
they shape
but I know
boards
that they are.
for women, obviously? Does a woman's surfboard different shape?
I think they're the same. Yeah, I think they because I've ridden a woman's surfboard before, and it actually went really good.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, it went really well. Like, it was a custom board for a woman.
For a woman.
Yeah, it wasn't like
So
a
it's
woman.
it's a
It wasn't a
board.
woman had taken a board out of the racks, surfed it, and then it became a woman's surfboard. It was specifically shaped for a woman, so it was a woman's surfboard. The board itself didn't have a gender. because it wasn't French.
Non-binary.
Yeah, it wasn't French. Because in France, they put genders on inanimate objects.
Yeah, that's
I'm not sure if a surfboard is feminine or masculine, but I did surf a woman's surfboard once and it went really, really well. It was surprising.
Was it a longboard?
Someone said, is that why you never won a contest?
He has won a contest.
I've actually won contests before.
He's the king of the backdoor, 2019.
Won in the back door.
The backdoor, Raglan there?
Actually, went in. I've been in the back door several times, but I won the back door twice. And that's not backdoor pipeline at all, because that's a proper wave.
That's a different one.
Just Manu Bay. The event was sponsored by Backdoor.
It's a surf shop.
Backdoor surf shop. And I won that twice. I'm not gloating or anything, but it's just like I'm just stating facts. Like it's facts.
And
like
he's competing in the backdoor again next weekend or
in
2 weeks.
Yeah, and that's why I stopped drinking. That's why I'm sober at the moment, so I can shed a few kgs. So I'm light, nimble, and
fit in the backdoor.
Yeah, I can fit in the backdoor. Well, not fit in the backdoor, so I'm prepared.
Slim down so that you're feeling strong and healthy for the backdoor, and you work.
Oh, here we go. And then someone has, like, you know how we were talking about, or I was trying to, like, summarize surfboards, whether one's going to go good or it's not going to go good. You either rip or you don't. Board is not going to advance your lack of skills. And that's so fucking true. That's what so many people overlook, is that they think that if they spend, the higher price tag on the board, the more carbon fiber it has, the more technology that has been just molded into this, high performance surf craft, the better they're going to surf. And that's not necessarily the case, because buying a good surfboard isn't going to make you surf any better. The only thing that is going to make you surf better are Surfskate tutorials on YouTube.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and that's what I can't stress enough, is that you can get the fanciest board, the coolest wetsuit, the stretchiest leg rope, but if you're not, like, skateboarding around a whole bunch of cones that someone set up on a driveway, then you're not going to get better at surfing. And that's just a fucking fact.
Or lying on your stomach in the lounge, pretending to paddle and then popping up.
Yeah, all that. Or like standing on like a piece of plywood on top of a Swiss ball and then just practicing like your squats.
Yeah.
There's no way you're going to get better at surfing unless you do those things.
There we go.
So, I mean, I hopefully that, like, anyone who is just thinking, oh, a surfboard is what I need, it'll change my life. It's not. It's definitely those online courses. From Cal, this is an interesting question. From Cal with Love, do you guys have jobs or just fuck all day long? Well, I think you'd look at us and just think, hey, those dudes,
fuck
they're
all day long.
Fuckers. They're professional fuckers. They're handsome
it is
guys,
our job.
Handsome men, and surely, like, that's all they do.
That is work. So, look, it's $160.
Work's
if you want to
man.
come round, come on.
Work.
We can pump anywhere in this garage. And we can go into my house for $220. But for $160, you can come in the first part.
Oh, here we go. Todd Richards, he has a podcast called Todd, what's your podcast called? I'm trying to do a shout out. My mind's gone blank. But he says, how many donuts can you carry without using your hands? I think this one's for you, because like it sounds like he has gone for a more like sexual innuendo-ish kind of question here, which is your forte.
Well, the answer's 6. 3 on each nipple.
Okay, perfect. So that's, I mean, pretty straightforward. I don't eat donuts. Actually, that's a lie. I do eat donuts, but I eat the New Zealand variety of donut. We've only recently been introduced to the round with the hole donuts.
Yeah, they're weird.
Yeah, our donuts have always been like a cylindrical shape.
Yeah.
About yay long. And then they're split in the middle, and then we've got cream and a little bit of jelly on them with a frosting of icing sugar on the top. So, when did we get circular donuts? Probably like 10 years ago.
When The Simpsons came out, I think.
I think it was. I remember when The Simpsons came out, when I was a small child, and I'd look at these donuts and I was like, what the fuck is this? It was so American. And it wasn't. I think it wasn't until Dunkin' Donuts came to New Zealand that we were actually introduced to the circular donut.
So I can't carry any donuts. New Zealand donuts.
New Zealand donuts are very hard. I mean, you could
I could maybe carry one.
You get one up
across the nipples.
Yeah, but otherwise it's just like one and then one in. So A very I
Good
mean,
question.
it depends. Yeah, it's a good question, but it depends on the type of donut. And a lot of people would probably think, I don't know what the fuck you guys are eating. Those are not donuts, but to us, they were donuts.
Mm.
I guess maybe they were like the middle of the donut. If you had six roundy donuts, and then that would probably equate to the middle, of the donuts that we eat.
Our donuts.
You get what I'm saying?
I don't eat many donuts.
I don't eat many donuts. Definitely not now because I'm trying to, shed a few kgs to enter the back door.
Because it's not a nut either.
Oh, here we go. E-bike's taking over here. Well,
New Zealand?
You ride an e-bike.
What?
You're an e-bikist.
No, I don't. I got a motorbike.
You fucking.
I've got a scooter.
You got a scooter. You don't have an e-bike.
I got an electric scooter.
They're not taking over. There's not that many. We don't really especially around here. Like we're in Auckland at the moment, but or even in Raglan, it's not. You don't really have the kind of terrain that is suitable for e-bikes. Probably somewhere like the East Coast, like Mount Maunganui or places like that. They're probably perfect for e-bikes, but around here it's just not really ideal.
We like to travel around in our own cars and create lots of traffic.
One person per car.
One person per car.
Yeah.
High carbon footprint, and fake it as clean New Zealand.
Yeah, New Zealand's all about
Public transport.
fake it till you make
fucked.
it. Yeah, it's marketing. It's pure marketing. Pure NZ, pure marketing. But I've only had to go on one e-bike on Kobe Perkovic's e-bike. Shout out to Kobe. Thank you for letting me stay at your house when I was over in Australia. But his e-bike was pretty fucking sick.
One thing that is taking off is biking on E, and that is
that's very different.
Yeah, and yes, that is taking
That's
off
a new
here.
power.
It's awesome. I'm running a couple of tours out of my garage here, where we just take my bikes. We train crash a pill. A train crash is where you put one in your mouth and one on your bum, and you let them meet in the middle, and then you go for a 6K bike ride. And the first person back wins, and you got to pick up a couple of things on the way as a checklist. It's really cool. It's called biking on E.
So is that something you've actually done?
Yeah, I'm just setting it up now. There's the bikes.
Oh, you mean E as in...
Ecstasy.
Ecstasy, the drug.
The drug,
okay. No, it's just good to clear that up because I thought you might have been doing something real dodgy.
No.
You guys know a guy called Graham Waters. He lives in Raglan. Fuck, I love that. Do you ever get those questions?
Graham Waters.
Nah,
Graham Waters.
but
Sounds like a
like-
joke.
Yeah, I get these questions. Oh, do you know this guy called Gary? He came to fucking Southern California 25 years ago. He's from New Zealand. You should know him. And it's
Probably
just
do know Gary, actually, though.
Yeah, well, I did know Gary.
Yeah.
I did actually know him. He was my uncle's best friend. But
Don't know Graham.
I get these questions all the time. Just do you know fucking whatever Graham Waters? He lives in Raglan.
Well, it's just a nice way to...
But there are so many people in Raglan. Like I can't fucking possibly know all 180 people in Raglan, but I do know Graham Waters. But it's just the fact that people just think you fucking know everyone. You can't know everyone in a place just because it's like.
Small,
because it's small and that.
a bit
But
incestual.
I do know Graham. I saw him 3 days ago. He's all good.
boss.
How much money do I have to spend to have the right to burn the locals?
Mm.
Well,
Good question.
Topical.
Topical.
On that last podcast that we did, we talked about that, and you actually said something very pathetic. Prophetic.
Who, me?
You said that, and you said it's all good if you're going to travel somewhere to be a fuckwit to the other people that have travelled there,
Yeah.
but be a good cunt to the locals.
Yeah.
You said it better than I said it, but that's basically the gist of it all.
I said it without the swear words.
You said
so.
it without
I
the
use
swear
things
words,
like
but that's-
respect.
Yeah, you said respect was
show
one of the
respect
words.
to the locals.
What did I say? Be a good cunt.
But just take on the other tourists, man. Go
Yeah.
surfing, do what you want.
But respect the locals.
Locals.
Because you have to
It's
give
localism.
you have to
It's
give
theirs.
respect to get respect.
Mm.
And then sometimes you give respect, and then you give more respect, and then you don't get any respect.
And then
And that's probably because you don't understand what being respectful is, and you're probably just a fuckwit who thinks they're being respectful. I think that's what gets in the way of some people.
okay.
And another question, Luke. If you're reading this, you already know you're hilarious. Thanks for the laughs, mate. Other guy, you're cool too. I'm not sure which Luke he's talking about.
That's a real issue with us being both named Luke.
Yeah, that's
So let's just
quite
you
hard.
choose what part you want of that, and I'll choose, and we just won't even talk about
we
it.
could share that one.
Yeah.
And another question we had was,
Why are they all waving? We can't What is that?
I don't know. I don't know how this works, man. And this is why this is a full-blown experiment of what we're doing here. Because I barely know how this Instagram Live thing works. And,
I was
and
hoping-
you definitely don't.
I've never been
but
on
I
Instagram
definitely
Live.
don't as well. So we're just trying to figure this out. And there's probably more questions. Still waiting for some more to come through.
We'll
There's
take-
probably a few that we've missed.
I got to go to work, so I got,
You
that
do,
I
yeah.
got that lady turning up. So, yeah, man.
We'll go one more. Hold on. Bud, in Canada we have Timbits. It's the whole of the donut. Okay, so that wasn't a question, but that was more of just informing us about other countries like
He's passing knowledge on.
donut specifications.
Mm.
And because they have the middle of the donut.
Here's a question.
Well, is surfing can-do also good, or should... I don't know what that question was. Oh, and then someone's talking in some other language. New gun ons, brah.
We don't know what that
Yeah,
says.
we don't
and
know.
we don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Like, we may look like we speak other languages or even can understand and comprehend other dialects of languages,
did they say guns?
but we can't. Like most languages, I don't know.
Wombat and a beanie. Fuck.
Someone said shoulder, and then someone asked a question about no can-do or something, because I posted that video. Yeah, you know the one I was talking about, the video with the young grommet being burnt by the old man at Kandui in Indonesia, and I think he was asking me about that. That video wasn't actually me.
No.
That wasn't me. I had nothing at all to do with that. I was just bored at home on my telephone. I was just like, oh, there's that video. I'll do a post on the internet about that, and then I mean that's basically the gist of that. I don't know anything about the context of what happened there. How many sheep in a packet of Jack Links? Oh, that's another one. They're probably Australian.
They
That's
don't
probably an
do. They
Australian
don't
question.
do.
They don't do a
Jack
sheep
Links
one,
do
do
beef.
they?
Nah,
No, no
they got
lamb.
They got ham. They got pigs and they got beef. But yeah, no, it's a good. We should ask that to Jack Links though. We do work closely with them. Wonderful
Oh,
product.
hold on. If this podcast is an excitement, what will the next one be? That's a good question. If this podcast is an excitement,
What is an excitement?
I don't know.
This is like this is like second base, and then the next one will be third base.
What?
That's what it's going to be like. We're going to step it up each time.
Yeah. No, so this is the excitement, and then the next one will be even more exciting. And they'll probably drop back.
Yeah.
And then we'll come back again.
Yeah.
Because I think the whole theme behind this podcast is, like, you'll listen to one, watch one, or whatever, and you'll be like, fuck, that was probably one of the best podcasts I've ever listened to. And then you'll be like, I'm definitely listening to the next one. The next one is probably the most awful thing you've ever heard in your life. And you'll be like, oh, that's fucking horrible, but I'm going to stick around because the next one can't get any worse than this. And then you listen to the next one, and you're just like, oh shit, that was slightly better. And then the next one. So
It's
anyway,
just triggering for me, man. It sounds like me and my wife.
Oh, really? So that's how you've.
So
just
that's
keep
how
going.
lovemaking like.
Yeah, I mean, you can kind of like. I guess that's with most things in life. Is that it's
I'm
it's
trapped,
more
man.
it's the intrigue.
I'm trapped in some shit content.
Yeah, it's the intrigue into what happens next. You know, like I mean, this is probably terrible, but the question is, would the next one be good? You know, will the next one be good or will it be bad? And the only way you can find out is either reading comments online or and fucking listening to it. So I'm going to leave that up to you, the listener or the viewer, to figure that out.
There was a question there that I thought I could ask you on someone's behalf. It's
Wait,
skimmed
hold
up.
on. We just got to go back to this one quickly. So this is about the guy Graham who lives in Raglan. When you see Graham again, ask him about his balls and what happened to them when he was out.
It sounds like a personal joke.
When he was
an in-joke.
out in the bar, or out surfing and kicked out of the back of the wave. Tell him Lofty said hello. Yeah, sure.
Lofty.
I'm not going to do any of that. I don't actually know Graham. I was lying before. I don't know Graham.
Lofty. He must look like.
But
one
if
of
I
those.
do meet him, I'll definitely tell him that.
Someone asked, do cold water surfers suffer?
Do cold water surfers suffer?
They just want to be surfers like they see on TV, and they want to have a exciting and fun hobby, but they've got to go out in the freezing cold and
yeah.
risk pneumonia and shrinkage.
Ooh, it's definitely
They do suffer.
it's not
And we
as
should-
enjoyable.
we should think about them.
The one more enjoyable thing about being a cold water surfer is generally there's a lot less people who do it because you actually really have to want it to get out there in the cold water.
Yeah.
And I was out surfing the other day, and it was fucking cold.
Yeah.
At least that was my perception of the situation, was that it was really cold.
Mm.
And I guess depending on where you are from, it was cold.
Mm.
But I paddled out, and I got talking to some fella, and he was from Northern California. And then I realised that it was a good thing I didn't actually complain about the water temperature, because I would have looked like an absolute fucking pussy. Not saying that I'm not, but I would have looked like way more of a pussy because, you know, to him it was probably like he was probably sweating in his wetsuit.
Yeah.
Because comparatively, the water temperature here is a hell of a lot warmer than where this guy was from.
And I guess one good part to being a cold water surfer, and this is a little bit crass, so I apologise, but when you want to piss your wetty, you notice it, you feel the warmth, you get the benefit
You
of
definitely
your
notice it a lot
bladder
more.
In the warm waters of central Earth, and you know, sort of up there around the equator. You don't notice when you're pissing. I wouldn't know what's
No.
coming out of my body when I'm in the water in the middle of the earth.
Yeah, there's far less incentive to store a whole bunch of urine in your bladder when you're in a tropical climate. So that's why you see a lot of cold water surfers just drinking a lot before they go out there. And that's what I've always done, is just drink as much fluid as you can. Whole bunch of diuretics like coffee.
You really want to shit your wetty when you're a cold water surfer.
You don't want to shit your wetty. That does create a lot of warmth, but with it, a lot of stench. So yeah, you want to stay extremely hydrated, because honestly there's nothing better than when it's freezing cold and you piss your wetty. And I actually I discovered something a few years ago when I was down in the Catlins, the lower part of the South Island.
Where all the cats live.
Yeah, that's hilarious. No, what I found was that my hands were freezing. So you know when you don't, you know, a fair weather surfer, but your hands get like this, and you can't put your little pinky together.
What, you get so cold that goes like that?
Yeah, that goes like that. But my hands were fucking freezing, and I couldn't open. You know, I couldn't use my keys to open my car and all that sort of thing. So what I did was I went into the men's room, and I urinated on my hands.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it was a no-brainer. I just kind of thought, well, my hands are fucking freezing. How can I warm them up immediately?
Fondle yourself.
No, and then so I pissed on my hands, and it was honestly a fucking revelation. So I cannot express how fucking awesome it is pissing on your freezing cold hands after a really cold surf. And it seems disgusting, but it's no more disgusting than peeing in your wetsuit while you're out in the surf, really.
Yeah, no, look, I'm for it. I was just thinking it's a good side to being a cold water surfer.
Well,
there's a lot to deal with, but you do get the warmth of your pee.
Yeah, but that's definitely like a little hack.
A little
that
nugget.
You can do. Yeah, and I told this to my girlfriend, and she was just like, well, so you would shit on your hands then? You know, you wouldn't shit on your hands, and I said no, of course not. And she said, well,
no,
what's
but
the difference?
You could piss on her hands. You know,
I'm
it's
not going to
nicer
piss
to
on anyone else's hands.
Oh.
But she was just like, what's the difference? It's both like human waste.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and it's probably both warm. And I was like, that's fucking disgusting. And she's like, yes, of course it's disgusting. But, like, it's disgusting pissing on your hands. Like, that's the same as shitting on your hands. And nowhere is in the fucking history of the world has pissing on yourself equated to shitting on yourself. Because there's obviously, like, there's people who get under glass tables and do all that sort of stuff. But you know that someone who puts, like, a waterproof sheet down and does that sort of stuff, that's far classier than someone who, like, goes under or goes onto a glass table. You know what I'm talking about. Hopefully no one else does, because it's very crass. But what I'm saying is, like, shitting on your hands is nothing like pissing on your hands. And it's really good for the... What are we talking about again?
Well,
surfing in cold water.
We're answering questions.
We're answering questions here. So any of you Canadians or people in Northern California, any cold places, try that next time. I know you guys are probably well prepared and wear gloves.
I don't think you need to tell Canadians to piss their own pants. They are massive
I'm not saying piss
fans.
their pants. I'm just saying, like, piss on your own hands.
They're massive fans in it. And they also show it off. And that's why they wear double denim a lot, the Canadian tuxedo, is because urine shows up. So when you pee yourself in a pair of jeans, light blue jeans, it stands out. And Canadians are well known for it.
For pissing
in their own pants.
Yeah. But I shit in my wetsuit one time. Have you? No,
I think we should probably stop talking about this stuff.
Well, that's what I was just going to say. Is that we got to move on from, like, you know, defecation or urination. Like,
the answer is yes.
No, I haven't. No, I haven't. I'm sure some people have. But yeah, I think we're almost done. It was good. It was good doing this excitement.
Got to wear the dark
experiment.
denim. He is right.
He knows. Yeah, so that when you do, no, we got to move on from urination, defecation. But
Okay.
no, it was good to do this. It was a good
Pointless.
experiment.
Um,
Of course, it was pointless. But you look at like what's the
Punishing.
point in fucking anything?
mm.
You know,
I got to go to work.
very few things have a point.
I got to find my dog.
But yeah, you should probably find your dog. But yeah, thank you for watching, for listening, and where did your dog go?
I don't know. I genuinely don't know.
Yeah. Okay. So legitimately, we've got to go and find Luke's dog because there was a big dog around here before, and when the big dog came around, we noticed that the little dog, Luke's dog, has
He fucked off.
has suddenly disappeared. So that's generally not like a positive thing. So we're going to go and figure out where his dog is. Sorry, pardon me. But yeah, thank you for watching or listening or whatever it is. And
The end.
the end.